Hello all, I'm Bill, and I want to show you my Hellboy costume. I've spent a lot of time and effort on it. I want to show you what I've done with it. I think I've got a really pretty accurate costume here. So I want to show you the hand first. This is the hand of Doom, of course, and I spent a lot of time making this work. And what I like about this, what's neat about this, is that this actually, let me get it on here fully. I can actually spin it like this. And it's got a little bit of movement this way. I wish I could get a little bit more movement out of this, but I haven't been able to. And then also I've got it so that it can move the fingers as well. I just got to get my fingers in the jiggers here. So I got to get the thumb out of the way, and then so I can move the thumb here a little bit, and then I can have some finger action there. So I'm going to show you pictures of the armatures. Let me explain a little bit more about the hand here. So this is my hand. I want to make sure you can get a good view of all that. So this is made out of EVA foam, and let me show you how the movement action works. It's two pieces. Ta-da! So here's this. This is an easy piece to make. That's pretty much just measuring in geometry and stuff like that. All made out of EVA foam, put together with barge contact cement. If you're using EVA foam, for the love of God, use barge. Nothing else works. So that's easy enough. This is the complex part here. So yeah, if you notice inside here, we got some sockets. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. So that it can sit on there, and then this is all beveled as much as possible so it can, rotate and have some movement. I did actually have to put some lubricant on this to get it to turn pretty good. I just used Vaseline, seems to be working okay. Might be able to use something else in the future. As you can see, we go up in size here so that my hand can just barely fit in here, and then has as much rotation as possible inside there, and I've beveled this off as much as possible. So the fingers, so this is EVA foam. The fingers, though, they're made from liquid latex, so you can see they're kind of spongy and soft, and there's an armature inside there that support the finger, and then so when I pull, I got a little thing on here, and when I pull, it moves down, a standard robotic DIY hand type thing. So these are my second attempt at making the fingers like this, so you might notice some cracks and stuff on them. I was trying to make them really thin, so now that I have a good understanding, I'm going to redo them because this needs some work. It looks okay. I did it for Motor City Comic Con, but I want to redo these. So let me show you the first one I made here, and then you can get a better understanding of what this is. So this is the liquid latex finger. So this one is a lot thicker, so it doesn't move as well. So I redid them. It looks really nice and awesome, and it matches the foam nice and good. But the flexibility wasn't there, so I tried to make a much thinner one. So I'm going to show you how I made these. Basically, I made a foam finger and then cast it in two sections so that I can then use the liquid latex on that. So more on that later. So then, in order to get all of the design work, I used a Dremel. I used a Dremel to round it off, put a bunch of nicks in it, put these cuts in it, put the designs in it. So that's all Dremel work there. Now, what's really cool about this is that I think this is a pretty accurate, screen accurate hand, because I was at Universal Studios in Florida, and they had one of the props on display, and I'm going to put pictures of it here. then in the links, I'm going to give you the 3D image. So I took my camera with 123D Make. The app I don't think no longer is downloadable, but you should be able to find something if you want to do something similar that does that. But yeah, so this particular app let me take a whole bunch of pictures, and it turned into a 3D rendering, so that I was able to make a hand that's pretty accurate. I'm going to show you a little bit later. My original hand, not quite as accurate, but I think this one's pretty accurate. I think it might be a little big. I got to take the pictures and compare it, but I like how accurate this is. This looks really good, really nice compared to the movie, and it's lightweight and moves. So there's that. So how I got from the 3D imaging to making the foam template for this is I laser cut. I have access to a laser cutter at my local makerspace, so I laser cut all the different layers of the 3D image, and then I cut it. This used to be on here, so that I could have the two pieces. This is the little thumb piece here, and then have the rest of this. And then I put duct tape over this, and then cut that to make my template. So I will put the scans of my template up so that everyone can have access to them if you want to make your own. All right, so let's go over some of the other stuff here. I needed my hands to show you the hand, but now I can hold this. So this is my holster for the gun. So the gun is well, let me just tell you about the holster first. So this is made out of leather, and it's a little tight for the gun that I have. So here you can see one that I haven't sewn up yet. This one was actually supposed to be for that gun. Turns out it was too small, but that'll show you what it looks like. And again, I have this template. I'm going to put this up in the description here, so you guys can download this, and if you have access to a laser cutter, do it yourself. So we got 3 different pieces here. We've got the US logo, and then we've got the belt loop strap. Now it looks ridiculous. This angle is, in my opinion, angled the wrong direction and angled too much. But this is, as best I can tell you, how it was in the movie from all the pictures and stuff I've seen. And then we've got the strap here with the Hellboy logo. You can't see it as well in here. I needed to make it a little deeper, but again, I ended up not using this one. So this is how I made. So you notice these are embeveled here. That was just a little piece of leather that I cut out in that, and then I also laser cut. I had the holes in there, so I didn't have to make all the damn holes. These are all laser cut. So in order to get the bevel here, I laser cut engraved a block of wood, and then I soaked the leather in the water and then imprinted it into there. It takes a long time to push everything in to get. The more time you spend on it, the better it's going to look. So this is I've made many of these so far. So, but that's how you do that. And then the same with the strap. There's just a lot more intricacies in here, so you have to spend more time pushing it in there. So that's how I did the holster, and then you get your little tackle and then diet and whatnot. The gun, I'm not going to actually pull the gun out because it broke at Motor City Comic Con. I pulled it out a little bit for you here. This piece is is all loose, but I didn't make the gun. This is a 3D printed gun I got from a guy in England who was selling his off. He already had it painted and all that, so I just made the holster the right size the second time. That's the first one. So, and then here's my belt. Used again leather. This one I didn't laser cut all the little things here. I made them by hand. Actually, I made them with a drill. And then, oops. So we go all the way to the end here, and then there's the leather keeps stretching, so I have to keep making more and more holes to go in there. So there's the belt, and then so here's the belt buckle. So I made this belt buckle. This is, I believe it's not 1/4 inch steel. It's the next size down. But I just got this from the hardware store, and then bent it into shape, and then it's actually welded on the back here. So I have 4 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 pieces welded here. This came off of another belt, and then this is just to keep the logo in place, and then the belt attaches here. So then this is laser cut again, so it's engraved rather, so cut the outside and then engraved in here, and then I used enamel paint for like models and stuff, and then use a syringe to pour it into here as best as possible. I did mess up a little bit here, but it looks pretty good. And then the edges are beveled. Before I put the red paint in, I painted it all silver, so it kind of looks like metal. So I think that came out real well. I like that. I haven't been able to find one online that I liked, so I made one myself. So the pants, these are actual motorcycle pants, and I do believe they are the exact right model that Ron wore in the movie. They're a pain in the butt to keep up, because leather pants don't like to keep up. So, alright, moving on to the headpiece. So I'm going to show you a little bit later the head cast I have, but this is the final result. My friend out of clay sculpted the horns on my head cast, and then I cast it to make this. So this is a foam insert that is, I got for my head cast, so that I can keep the applique in the right shape and whatnot. So here's the foam, liquid latex cast, and then I cut a wig up, and then glued the wig, and then glued little pieces in place to kind of hide the wig, but the wig is glued in place, and then so that's that. So it doesn't just sit on my head. I'm trying to get it so that I can glue it onto my head. So far, it hasn't worked, so that you can't see the line, but it looks pretty okay for what it is. So there's the head piece. I really can't give you any template to help you with this. You just gotta hopefully have some artistic ability, or have a friend who has the artistic ability who can sculpt you some of those. Finally, I'm going to show you the tail. The tail is just a pool noodle with a red sleeve over it. It was done really quickly, really hastily. I'm eventually